April Fools has given ThinkGeek a chance to really create whatever we dreamed of. So an April Fool's product is almost like a dream, and now you can make the dream a reality. People on our team get passionate about doing cool and amazing stuff. The impetus was pretty simple. Back a long time ago when ThinkGeek started, ThinkGeek was originally doing t-shirts and not a lot of other product. So at that time, it was simply seen as something fun. We feel that for April Fools, we can take a little bit of creative liberties with the licenses. It certainly has become more challenging as we've kind of grown up, and now we own licenses for a lot of these properties. So we have real licenses for, Game of Thrones and Minecraft and, Star Wars and, Star Trek.
One that I was really pushing for, which we couldn't do for licensing reasons, was the TARDIS, which would be like the TARDIS but a porta potty. It would have been so easy to do. I think that's the one I miss the most, because it has poop in it.
If we don't have a relationship with a company, we're kind of going to hope for the best and think, well, we're going to make sure that we don't represent their brand in a poor light, and we're going to bring publicity, and we hope that they're going to like it, and that mostly has worked in the past.
I'm excited about the Nerf nuke. We were thinking about a lot of different ways of riffing on kind of Nerf, so we took it to as far as we could and made a nuclear bomb, which hopefully doesn't rub people the wrong way, but it's supposed to be a fun toy.
We actually have a physical prototype to work with. Thanks to 3D printing, we're now able to have a prototype that our Geek Labs team put together that looks really good. Against our better judgment, we decided to actually animate it in our main image, our sort of standard product photo, so that you could see the functionality. It's the kind of thing most people, when they see it, it may not really register that that was complicated, but the production side of it actually was really intensive.
It's not just building prototypes for camera-ready stuff, it's building stuff to figure out how things work. 3D printing kind of started out with the Star Wars lightsaber popsicles. Was our first 3D printed April Fool's product. It was kind of in that size where we could get away with it. After that, we started doing more and more. This year we've got maybe 4 projects that are fully 3D printed, which is a lot, but it's starting to pay off. I mean, it's our biggest visitor day of the year.
There are a couple difficulties we run into with shooting products that don't really exist. If we've made a prototype, often our prototypes are a good bit rougher than a real product would be.
Most of the time we just cheat it to the level of camera ready for April Fools. Initially it was all just cardboard and foam core, spray paint. I brought it from the movie magic end to being more prototypes that you would show a client if you were in a design firm.
I'd say there's a lot of photoshopping. Often, it's not always that we're cheating, but just to show what something will do.
Until the point of about 7 years ago, we really hadn't even thought that we would try to make any of the April Fool's products real. That wasn't even on the radar. And we didn't have a design group internally that would manufacture the products at that time anyway. The first product that we really, in earnest, thought that we would make was the 8-bit necktie. And we still sell it today. That was sort of the beginnings of the Geek Labs group in a way. And the next big hit that we ended up getting was the Tauntaun sleeping bag. And that one, we didn't have a Lucasfilm license. Because the product was so successful at April Fool's, we actually had people on the Lucasfilm staff emailed us and said, hey, if you want to get a license, we'll help you to connect with who you need to. Finally, we were able to parlay that into getting actual real license so that we could end up being able to manufacture that product. And it turned out great. Obviously, it was a huge success.
This year, our planning process began in January, and we probably saw some of our first prototypes maybe in early March, but it depends a lot from year to year. Sometimes late in the game, we'll have an idea, so we'll rush something through at the very last minute.
In the beginning, it was sort of like a free-for-all, almost like a party. You bring in pizza, people are talking, and anybody can come up with something. We talk about what was going to be funny, what are the popular memes going around, what funny technology thing could you riff off of. Later on, I wrote down some kind of guidelines of what I thought would make a great April Fool's product that we had refined over the years. The way we gauge customer interest is when the customer tries to put it in the cart and they're told the product is a joke, they're also actually asked to vote on which one of the April Fool's products that they would buy if it were real. Before, people would just email us and they would tell us what they liked, and later on we formalized it.
In terms of the creative direction, I would say that it's pretty collaborative. Depending on the year, we'll have someone who may own a product and they sort of had the idea, and so they have more input.
Hillary did the Technomancer Digital Wizard hoodie, which was amazing.
I had the idea about 2 months after I started working here. The biggest difficulty is that we're taking something that's hardware and fabric. There's not a whole lot of electronics in fabric quite yet, and so first we had to find a factory that could do both.
And it took us over 2 years to develop that product. And I think we delivered actually very close to what the original April Fool's vision of that item was.
The Dark Mage Wand is sort of the evil version of Technomancer. Same sort of idea, it casts spells, it's motion reaction. I thought it'd be cool what if the control scheme was even simpler? What if it did something no matter what you did? My favorite thing to do is take something that you can do in a virtual world or in a book or in your imagination and make it as real as possible. If I could make it do real magic, I totally would. But so far all I can get is the effects.
The canned unicorn meat may have been one of those where it was a fantastic joke idea and then we had to figure out what to actually make it out of.
The original idea was, well, we're basically going to take just a can, maybe something that looks like Spam or corned beef hash or something, and rebrand it as if it contains unicorn meat, and it would be funny. We did this and went out for April Fools, and we used the tagline in it. We said it's the new white meat. We got a cease and desist letter from the National Pork Board saying that you're infringing our trademark on this tagline. So we wrote them back a very nice letter. We just want to let you know that this is a joke and that, you know, unicorns are mythical beasts. Every year, April Fool's becomes harder. Originally, when we were doing it, it was really easy to stand out. And over the years, it's become much more challenging because people do amazing things for April Fools.
I think our customers will like the beard machine. In trying to make it as real as possible, it is actually terrifying to think that it could work, but it would correct a lot of failed facial hair projects that people have, I guess, more than they thought they could.
We feel that by now, a lot of our core customers already know about the joke, and they're just waiting to see what we're going to do just because they want to be entertained by whatever it is. And then they want to imagine, oh, maybe ThinkGeek would do that and turn that into a real product because it's happened in years past. I mean, that's most of the drive at ThinkGeek to do almost anything. It's the minute that the customer looks at it, you know, they get so excited, they want to buy it, and then when they buy it, they're really happy with it.
Toshiba has also nailed the performance. Like other recent 8-inch Windows slates, the Encore is using a quad-core Atom processor that has no trouble zipping through most lightweight tasks, ranging from web browsing